Hey, Tom Rabbit! I hope you got this for your recording. Hey, YouTube out there. Tom Rabbit likes to record these. Hey, Tom Rabbit!
Well, I know that reality is fundamental.
Okay, that is
If
the
I say,
typical.
for example,
Okay,
that if I
listen.
make a
Let's
statement-
stop. What you just
Well,
stated is
I'm answering your
typically
question.
it. Okay, shut up momentarily. What you just gave me is the typical go-to cliche when atheists simply do not know what to say. Okay, now you have now contradicted yourself.
How?
Okay, you told me you had nothing that was identifiably fundamental dictating what is, can be, and cannot be. Then a minute later, you told me that it is reality.
No, I didn't say that. I said that I don't need to know
Griff,
what's
listen to me.
fundamental
Griff,
about reality to experience it.
listen to me. Griff, listen to me. I'm probably the oldest person on the server. I'm probably the oldest person in this room. I wasn't born yesterday. Shay, overtalk me. I'm almost 60.
Okay.
Now, if you think you're going to bamboozle me the way you bamboozle other people, it's not going to work. I wasn't born yesterday. Overtalk me again, and I will ban you from the server. I won't kick you. I will ban you from the server.
All right, go ahead.
Now, you told me moments ago, I said, do you know what it is that is fundamental, that institutes and secures what is, can be, and cannot be? And you said you had no idea what that was. You recall that?
Yeah, I recall that, sure.
Okay. Do you also recall that a minute or two later, you said it was reality is what is fundamental?
Well, can I explain what I was getting at?
Do you recall saying that?
Yes, yeah, I recall saying that.
Okay, so 1 minute you say you don't know, okay? Don't overtalk me. 1 minute you say you do not know what is fundamental, and then the next minute you're telling us what is fundamental.
Well, let me explain what I meant.
Do you know what is fundamental?
No, I do not.
Okay, so then when you assert what is, can be, and cannot be, it ultimately has no foundation to what you're saying.
Such as you having experiences.
You asserted you have experience. Parakeet, please. Okay.
I don't think.
Do you have an ultimate or fundamental foundation for anything that you assert?
Reality is the.
Okay, you've now contradicted yourself again. Okay, now I'm going to ask you a question. Listen to me, Griff. I'm going to ask you a question, and don't overtalk me. I know all of the atheist tactics and little tricks they pull out of their tote bag. Don't overtalk me. Don't overtalk me. Okay, overtalk me one more time. Just do it one more time. Now, have you been drinking tonight?
No.
Okay, then your conduct is inexcusable. Now, don't overtalk me. Now, you have contradicted yourself again. I asked you a minute ago again, do you know what is fundamental? And you said no. Then a minute later, again, you said reality is fundamental. So you have contradicted yourself. Do you realize that?
Yes, but let me explain myself.
There's no yes, but. Which is it? Either you know what is fundamental or you do not know.
I don't think you need to know what's fundamental in order to be able to experience reality.
Okay, listen to me carefully.
Yeah, I know what you said.
Do you know what is fundamental?
No, and I don't need to.
Okay. Now, here's the problem. Here's the problem.
Well,
okay. Then whatever is, can be, and cannot be dependent and derivative on what is fundamental?
I don't understand the question.
Is what is, can be, and cannot be, does it all derive and depend on what is fundamental?
On what is fundamental? So can we just call what is fundamental?
Is what is and can be and cannot be,
Yeah.
does it depend and derive entirely on what is fundamental?
On what is fundamental? So we're not saying what is fundamental. We're just saying if there's something that's fundamental,
Yeah,
does everything
listen
that
to
is
me.
and can be?
Last warning.
I'm not
Stop.
I'm just trying to understand
Stop.
your question.
Okay. Last warning. Don't overtalk me and stop playing stupid.
I'm not playing
Okay?
stupid.
Yeah, okay, listen to me. That's why I asked you, have you been drinking tonight? Now,
okay.
is what is fundamental? Does it institute and secure what is, can be, or cannot be? Or is there nothing fundamental that dictates what is, can be, and cannot be?
Nobody knows.
Okay, now you are now kicked from the server. Okay?
Hey, that wasn't me though.
I know, I'm not speaking to you.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
No,
Let me just.
he's honest as being his usual obnoxious self. Now, either you accept and believe that something is fundamental, dictating what is, can be, or cannot be, or you do not believe that there's anything fundamental dictating what is, can be, or cannot be. Which is it?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? Because I didn't.
Either you believe that there's something fundamental
Yeah.
to all states of affairs
Yes.
as
Got
to
it.
what is, can be, and cannot be, or you do not believe that there is something fundamental dictating what is, can be, or cannot be.
Okay. There is something fundamental. Yes.
Okay. Now, do you know what that is?
I don't know what that is. No.
Okay. So that when you assert what is and cannot be, all right, you have no ultimate fundamental foundation to say why or if anything is, can, or cannot be. Do you?
Well, there is an ultimate foundation. I just don't know what it is.
Okay. Then how do you know that there is something ultimate?
Well, do you think there's something ultimate?
Okay. What I think is irrelevant. You have been shooting your mouth off in this room, and I was listening to you talk with Tonlak, and you're talking about your reason, your sense perception. These are all states of affairs that are either completely spontaneous or unrelating occurrences, or they exist as an actuality and possess intelligibility in virtue that something is fundamental dictating what is, can be, or cannot be. So when you talk about your sense perception or your reason about this world, about anything, okay, does its existence and its intelligibility entirely depend that there is indeed something fundamental?
Sure.
Okay, what is it?
I don't know what it is.
Okay, so when you assert that certain things are, can be, or cannot be, you have no basis to assert that, do you? By the way, hold on a second. Honest, if you come back in here, hold on. Hey, Honest, come back in here in the next. Okay, all right, I'm kicking him again. Go ahead.
Are you talking to me? Are you yelling at me again? Sorry.
No, I was yelling at that other guy because I kicked him.
Oh, the other guy. Okay. So just back to your question. I don't need to. Again, I don't think I need. I don't need to.
Are you asserting propositions? Are you asserting propositions that are fundamentally groundless?
No, but I don't need to know what the grounding is.
Okay. So what is the ground, or that which is fundamental?
I don't know.
Well, then how do you know that something's fundamental then?
Well, I can demonstrate it. I mean, I can.
You're not. You're okay. Okay, Griff. Hold on a second.
No, I don't think
I hate to ask this question. But we've reached a point here where I have to ask this. How old are you?
I'm 49 years old.
Okay. You are reasoning like a 15-year-old.
Well, wait a minute. This is what
You are
what- this is what I'm
literally
saying.
you are literally reasoning like a 15-year-old.
I'm saying that I don't need to know what the
You're telling
fundamental
me,
reality
okay,
is
hold,
to
hold,
experience
okay. Well,
reality. What's the difference?
we can discuss that vacuous claim momentarily.
Okay.
Okay, because it is vacuous, and I can easily walk you through that. But the real issue is here simply this: you saying you don't need it is a diversionary response. So
Wait,
you are
don't need-
making propositional claims about certain things, states of affairs, in virtue that there's something there imposing it, but you don't know what that is. Then how do you know that there is something fundamental and singularly imposing what is, can be, and cannot be? How do you know that?
I don't know how my computer works, but I'm talking
That's not an
to a
answer to my
computer.
question. That's begging the question right there, because
Why?
you're presupposing in that response the uniformity of nature. And in order to presuppose the uniformity of nature, you're going to have to presuppose that there is something fundamentally and absolute that is metaphysically unchanging, that then institutes that other things don't change along with other things that do change. So that's a diversionary response. Now,
No, I'm not presupposing it.
okay,
I experience it.
how do you know that there is something that is fundamental and absolute? How do you know that?
You just asked me if there was something fundamental and absolute.
How do you
I would
know
say,
that
sure.
indeed there is something fundamental and absolute? How do you know that?
I don't.
So then why are you asserting it?
I'm not asserting. You were asking me about it.
No, you asserted that there is something fundamental and ultimate dictating what is, can be, or cannot be, but you don't know what that is. You did state that, didn't you?
I said that. Yeah, I don't know what that is. If we're assuming
Okay,
that there
then
is something that is fundamental,
but there
then I
no,
don't
but
know
there
what
is
it is.
in your view, in order to invoke certain intelligible propositions, states of affairs, facts, relationship between facts, in a world where you would be absent that something is fundamental and singularly instituting what is, can be, and cannot be, then your statements then would just simply be baseless claims. So you stated that there is something fundamental, okay? And how did you come to that conclusion?
Because there would have to be something fundamental for us to be here, right?
Where did you get that from?
Well, just by induction. I mean, right?
No, induction does not get you to the whole, and induction doesn't get you to any universals. Appealing to that which is fundamental and absolute, instituting and dictating what is, can be, and cannot be would be the designation of a universal. Induction cannot get you to arrive at any universal. Now, how do you know that there is something fundamental, ultimate, and singular instituting all possibility? How do you know that?
I guess I don't.
Okay, so then when you assert that there are facts that exist,
Yeah.
and that they're intelligible,
Yeah.
it's without ultimate metaphysical grounds, isn't it?
No. Well, metaphysical grounds maybe, but
Yeah.
why does metaphysics have to? I mean,
Metaphysics.
Synthetic.
Yeah. Listen. Why don't you listen a little bit more than you talk? Maybe you'll learn something. Metaphysics. Okay. Bye. You're done. See you later. Okay. He wants to keep on over talking. All right. He's a 49-year-old numbskull going on 15. And you know what? I really don't care that people think I'm harsh. I'm tired of these blowhards. They sit there, shoot their mouth off, and then when I ask them circumspect, clear questions about their own claims, then they engage in gobbledygook, deceptive and evasive answers. They overtalk. They become argumentative. Then they say, why does it even matter? Okay. If you're going to be so inept and incompetent in a conversation after you've been haughty and arrogant, right, then you shouldn't come into these rooms and debate these issues and be so inept. Okay.
Yeah, I was at my apex of patience with that man. I mean,
this is like a busboy at a skeevy diner, thinking that he can go into a five-star gourmet restaurant and being the head chef. Okay? All the guy had was chutzpah, and that's about it. By the way, did you get that, Tom Rabbit?